Alright everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. I have some Twilight Cup practice here for you with my friend Church. We have 11 rounds today, so it's going to be a long video. Sit back and enjoy. I'm going to open with Qwilfish. He opens Alolan Muck. So this is an interesting matchup. I like Qwilfish because of its versatility and all the different moves it can carry. As we know, Alolan Muck is a poison dark type, so there's not a whole lot that it can do to really hurt this Qwilfish. However, as you saw, that Ice Beam really does a good chunk of damage against the Alolan Muck. He's going to bring in Gardevoir and completely eliminate me with one fast move. That just shows you the power of confusion when you're fighting against poison users. I come in with the Azumarill, and he's going to make a fast switch into Golbat, but I don't fall for it. I actually am going to fire off that Ice Beam. I do draw the shield. A few more bubbles later, he's going to come with that Poison Fang. I know Azumarill is very tanky and can take at least one or two Poison Fangs, so I let that one through to conserve my shields. Going to fire off another Ice Beam and force this second shield here. Going to try to get to a third, and I know I need to protect my Azumarill here. Those wing attacks won't do much damage at all, so I'm comfortable just shielding the Poison Fang and then going for another Ice Beam. With no shields, that one goes through. Out comes Gardevoir. I make a quick switch, and as you can see, those confusions are really just eating this Golbat apart. However, I am able to get to the Poison Fang, and that is going to be enough to win us round one. Going into round two, I'm going to open Qwilfish again. He opens with Tentacruel. Tentacruel is one of the best openers for Twilight Cup. If you haven't done yours yet for August, I highly recommend you look into Tentacruel. The Acid Spray and Hydro Pump or Sludge Wave shield bait is just really hard to stop, and it only has a few hard counters like Venusaur, which not a lot of people are running. Because I don't have Aqua Tail on my Qwilfish, I am going to struggle a little bit. He brings in Gardevoir, and to avoid getting erased, I'm actually going to fire off that Acid Spray and make a quick switch into Golbat. The Poison Fang is going to do really good work against this Gardevoir. He is going to shield it though. I'm going to decide here to bring in my Clefable. Now my Clefable does no charm. I'm going to shield this Shadow Ball attack. And just the sheer power of Charm after that Acid Spray just takes down that Gardevoir with a couple of hits. In comes Tentacruel. I'm going to try to brute force my way through this one. Going to choose not to shield the Acid Spray there, although it does still do a good amount of damage. He brings in Togetic. And for these matches, we're really just trying a lot of different picks. Togetic is something that's been a little bit low on the radar, but I still enjoy seeing these off-meta picks. Speaking of off-meta, I'm going to start off this round with Gloom. He opens with Toxicroak. As you can tell, those Razor Leafs are just chunking away at this Toxicroak. He's going to fire off a Mud Bomb here, and it does decent damage, but he's going to bring in the Dustox, and that is going to do really good work against Gloom. I'm going to switch here into Skuntank. We do need to watch out for those Silver Winds because Skuntank is a part Dark type. However, mine is carrying Flamethrower. He's actually going to decide to shield that. I'm going to try to get to another Flamethrower here, and I'm going to burn this shield on my Skuntank. We do get to the Flamethrower. Let's see if he uses his second shield. And he does. So we have forced both shields, and I'm trying to get to a crunch at the last second. Or we actually go for the Flamethrower, but he makes a expert switch into Azumarill, and I actually end up using Crunch there instead. So Azumarill is out. I have Gloom and a few Razor Leafs here. I'm able to get off a charge attack, but I'm very weak. This is probably Gloom's final act, and that's all right because we take down that Azumarill. In comes Toxicroak, and I have a good Toxicroak eraser in Clefable. Toxicroak is going to take neutral damage from those charms because it is poison as well as fighting. In comes Dustox. I'm going to burn my last shield here to defend the Sludge Bomb and use a few more charms, but he has another charge move ready. And that Silver Wind is going to do good damage. He probably should have saved up for the Sludge Bomb, but we end up taking the match in spite of him getting the boost at the end. We're going to open this round with a Golbat Mirror Match. So I think the Golbat moveset is pretty standard. A few folks are running Air Cutter, but I like Shadow Ball and Poison Fang on mine. He's going to let the Shadow Ball through, and I make a quick switch into Qwilfish. He actually fires off a Shadow Ball of his own, and we end up tanking that. I know this is going to be a Poison Fang, but I'm going to try to hold on to my Qwilfish long enough to take down Golbat and maybe use the Acid Spray on his next Pokemon. He decides to bring in Dustox, and one confusion just erases us. So I have an interesting dilemma here. I'm going to go in with Golbat and try to get to a Poison Fang here to maybe draw the shield. We do get the shield. He's actually going to fire up a charge move. I'm going to invest in this Golbat, give it a shield of its own to defend this Silver Wind. He does not get a boost, which is a good thing, and I'm going for the Hail Mary here. Why not just fire off the Shadow Ball? This is Golbat's last attempt. He does decide to shield, so we burn both of those shields. Shields are down in the game, and he's going to fire off a Silver Wind against Alolan Muck. Oh, it's actually Sludge Bomb. So I fire off a few poison jabs here. He's going to get some good work in with those confusions. In comes the Silver Wind, and he does get the boost. We're able to take him down at the last second, though. His last Pokemon is Toxicroak. I'm going to fire off this Dark Pulse and see if we can take him down. And it's just not enough. We actually lose that round. Going to the next round, I'm going to open Venusaur. He opens the hardest wall in all of the Twilight Cup to Venusaur, which is Dustox. These confusions are going to hurt my Qwilfish, but I'm trying to get to this Ice Beam, and we do. He's going to decide to shield that one and make the fast swap into Tentacruel. Now, I need to remember that his Dustox does have energy prepared, so when it comes back out, it's going to be throwing those charge moves. We were able to get off the Acid Spray on Tentacruel, and this is a good setup for us because we know we can bring in Venusaur, tank whatever this is, which is Acid Spray, and get to this Frenzy Plant to try to take down Tentacruel. He's going to get to another charge move. Wary of the shield bait. I do shield, but it is Acid Spray nonetheless. My Venusaur is almost down, so I'm going to fire off this one move to try to do some chip damage or draw a shield on Dustox. We do not get the shield. I'm able actually to get to a second Frenzy Plant here. And we brought that Dustox really low, but things are not looking good for us. In comes Clefable. I'm going to shield this, expecting the Sludge Bomb, but we get Silver Wind instead. I know that this would probably be the Sludge Bomb and it's going to hurt, and it is. So Clefable is able to take down Dustox, and now comes Azumarill, and this is GG's. We know that Azumarill is just so extremely tanky. It's hard to take down, especially with a shield. One-on-one, it beats just about anything else in the Twilight meta. Going to this round, I opened Golbat. He opens with Azumarill. Now we're going to go for those Poison Fangs if possible. I open my Switch Tray to explore my options and decide to go with Qwilfish. He's going to fire off the Ice Beam and then make a switch into Golbat. I'm going to go straight for these Ice Beams to try to take down that Flying type. He decides to shield one, and we're going to try to get to another, but not before he gets to a charge move of his own. Shadow Ball actually takes us all the way down. I'm going to go in here with the Azumarill and try the same Ice Beam tactic on Golbat. Knowing this is a Poison thing, I'm not going to shield. We end up getting to the Ice Beam here, and he decides to not let it through. He's going to invest in this Golbat. I know he wants one more Poison Fang, and we're going to allow it to come through. A few more bubbles later, we get to another Ice Beam, and because the shields are down, this will take down Golbat, and we will see what he has behind it. It is Tentacruel with full health, and this is not looking good for us. We are down to just our Golbat. He has no shields, though, so we are going to allow this through, expecting the Acid Spray, and it is. He's going to switch into Azumarill here. He's going to try to buy as much time as he can. We're going to try to shield this Ice Beam here, and we do. And not really sure what to do. I farm a little bit, and then I go for the Poison Fang Blitz. So 2 Poison Fangs later, we are able to take down that Azumarill. And now we have Tentacruel, and Shadow Ball here is key. I'm going to fire off the Shadow Ball. Let's see if it's enough. And it is not. Tentacruel is just so bulky. He's going to finish this off here with an Acid Spray. GG's. Going to this round, I open Azumarill. He opens Alolan Raticate. So, as you know, the Dark type is weak to Fairy. We're going to try to get to this play rough, maybe a Shield Bait with an Ice Beam, but he gets to a charge move first, and it does turn out to be Hyper Fang. Hyper Fang is a great neutral move you can use. It's essentially like if you were running Umbreon and you had Last Resort. A lot of people think that Alolan Raticate is like a budget Last Resort Umbreon. I do not have one. I'm still working on getting one. Hopefully in December when the Community Day moves return, we might get last year's as well. My fingers are crossed for that, but we will see. Going into this match, we have Golbat. I'm going to fire off an Ice Beam here to try to take down Golbat, and he decides to let it through. So he's got 1 shield and 2 Pokemon. I have a weakened Qwilfish here. My hope is that I can at least do an Acid Spray before I die, but that Dustox just eliminates us. I am feeling pretty confident. I have 2 shields here. I go in with Golbat. Dustox is a bug type, so those flying type attacks will hurt it. He goes in with a Alolan Raticate. I'm going to make the switch here to absorb this charge move with my Azumarill. and it is crunch, so it's not very effective. He has one shield left, so I'm going to try to go for the shield bait with the Ice Beam and then take it out with the Play Rough. And we get the shield bait. I'm going to invest in my Azumarill because I know it's my best chance and defend that Hyper Fang. Here comes the Play Rough, and we're able to get it off. Play Rough takes down that Alolan Raticate. Out comes Dustox. It's able to farm us for a couple of confusions. However, my Golbat is ready. I have a Shadow Ball loaded, and we fire it off to take down Dustox. Going to this round, I open Skuntank. He opens Skuntank. Skuntank is an interesting Pokemon in the Twilight Cup because its moveset can vary so much. It has sludge moves, it has fire moves, it has dark moves, it has all kinds of things in its arsenal that you can use to surprise your opponents. Mine is again carrying Flamethrower and Crunch. I think you need Flamethrower to win the mirror match. However, I'm going to go for the Crunch here to try to finish it off. And he actually does not allow that move through. So he's going to fire for Charge Move. I'm expecting Flamethrower, but it is actually Sludge Bomb, a few more Poison Jabs, and we take down Skuntank and maintain switch advantage. He's going to go in with with Toxicroak, and then he's going to bring in Dustox. He's really loving this Dustox, and I am as well. I actually don't have a Legacy Venomoth, so Dustox was my choice for my Go Stadium Remote Twilight Cup as well. He's going to fire off the Silver Wind. I don't think he got an excellent there because it didn't do much damage to Golbat, and I'm going to go here for the Shadow Ball. He does let it through because his shields are down, and he does have Toxicroak. He's going to burn the energy here to try to remove Golbat, but he doesn't know that I have Clefable in the back, and this match is pretty much a done deal. I do switch here into Skuntank because I know I have Charge Energy, and I just want to play it super safe. The Mud Bomb would have KO'd us, but I'm able to get to the Flamethrower first. Going to this round, I open my Premier Ball Lola Marowak, and here comes Tentacruel. So the Bone Clubs are a ground type attack, and they will do good damage against Tentacruel, but the fire typing does hinder it a bit, especially when you're worried about things like Hydro Pump. So I'm going to switch into Golbat to face off against his Dustox here. We've seen this matchup several times. We know the confusions are going to hurt us, and we can go for the Poison Fang spam. He's going to fire the Silver Wind, and luckily he does not get the boost. I'm going to spaz out and hit that Poison Fang and try to get to another one here, and we do. Hoping that he's thinking it's Shadow Ball, I hope for the shield, and I do not get the shield that time. We actually take him down with 1 HP left, and I'm going to fire off this Poison Fang at whatever comes in, and it is a Alolan Muck. So, not much damage there, a little bit of chip damage. I have two decent options here. I'm going to go with a Lola Marowak because those ground type attacks will hurt the poison typing of Alolan Muck, and I have two back-to-back Bone Clubs loaded and ready to go. He's going to shield the second one, but I get to a third one here, and it lands. That Alolan Muck is just getting chipped down. I know Lola Marowak is one of the wild cards of the Twilight Cup. It is difficult to use because it is weak to Fairy and Dark types, and it doesn't do extremely well against Psychics either. So if you're going to use Lola Marowak, you need to find a really interesting niche for it. It does do very well, though. I mean, look at this. We got the Shadow Ball, and now we're going to get a Bone Club, and that Tentacruel is hurting. We have one Pokemon and a shield, and it's healthy Skuntank, so I am not very worried here. We're actually going to allow this Acid Spray through and finish it off with the Poison Jab. Going to this round, I open a Lola Marowak again, and he's going to go in here with Golbat. So I know the Shadow Ball is probably key here, as ground type attacks won't do much damage, so I load up a little bit of energy, and I switch into the Golbat Mirror Match. Expecting the Shadow Ball, I do shield, but it is Poison Fang. He's going to switch here into Dustox. I'm going to go here for the Poison Fang. He knows I have enough energy for the Shadow Ball, so I'm hoping for the shield, and I do get it. So I actually go here for the Shadow Ball second, and he lets it through, expecting the Poison Fang. The Shield Bait game is so fun, so interesting. It's always great to test your combinations, see how much energy you can gain during a match, and see how you can trick your opponent. I'm going to go here with the Poison Fang because this is Golbat's final act. It is pretty weak. And I'm going to come back in with Alolan Marowak. I'm going to fire off this Bone Club here. I know it won't do a whole lot of damage, but I was hoping to draw the shield, and that's what I got. Expecting the Shadow Ball, I do shield because that would be a one-hit KO against Lola Marowak. I am spamming that Shadow Ball, but he actually switches out into Toxicroak. This Mud Bomb will do super effective damage. However, I am going to bring in Clefable, and my Lola Marowak has all that energy stored for whenever I face that Golbat again. He's going to fire up the Sludge Bomb to take out my Clefable. I try to get a couple more hexes in there to take down Toxicroak, but it doesn't quite work. My plan was to farm down the Toxicroak and then fire off the Shadow Ball against Golbat, but it didn't quite work. Church, thank you so much for the games. I really enjoy it. I know that the Mirror Cup is wrapping up, but I also know that a lot of folks in Go Stadium have Twilight as part of their Mirror Cup, so I hope that battle footage was helpful. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon.